Growing up in a small town in Brazil, Joaquim Almeida's talent on the tennis court was undeniable.
At 12, I was the best player of the city, even with the adults. With 12 years old, I moved from Belém to Rio. I knew that if I wanted to go to the next level in the sport, I knew that that was the path that I had to take.
Thrust into the big city life, far from the comfort of home, Joaquim found himself in uncharted territory.
Didn't know much about life, didn't know much about anything. Just a little kid trying to play the sport. That's when I found a lot of freedom. I had my father's credit card, unlimited, which I could use whatever and whenever I want. That gave me much of freedom that I should not be allowed to. I started to make these friends from the sport. They introduced me to places that I have never been before. They introduced me very early to women. They introduced me very early to drugs. They introduced me very early to alcohol and to parties. From that on, my life was a roller coaster.
By his mid-teens, this out-of-control lifestyle had taken its toll.
When I was around 15, 16, I was getting lost completely in the things that I was doing. I knew that my life was a mess, and all of that consumed me to a point that I wanted to take my life away.
But even amidst the mess, athletic talent remained. At 18, Joaquim was still a formidable player.
I got ranked in the juniors. I was playing international tournaments. I was traveling so much. Even though I was doing all of these things, I remember that someone told me about going to college.
Going to college seemed to be the fresh start Joaquim was looking for.
I took the decision to go to the US because I was scared that the environment that I was in will have some bad influence over me. I went to try everything that I could to come to the US and try to restart my life. Still was in an environment that was not Christian environment. All my teammates from that time, they were not Christians. There was no one to lead me still to God's grace.
And yet, God would begin knocking on the door to Joaquim's heart.
I remember that in my second year, I'm walking, and that is our church. And I'm like, man, I need to change my life. I need to go back to Jesus. And it's been about almost 8-9 years that I'm living this life, and it's consuming me.
And one incident would be the final push he needed to get right with God.
I was driving a car without driver's license, and it was late at night. The lights were not on. A officer stopped me, and at that time I remember to asking God, because I knew that that could take me away from the country, from my team, from my university, from my degree, and for all those things. And I just did not want to bring that shame for my family and also for me. So I remember to be praying for God for one more opportunity. And then I just remember the office saying, I'm not gonna give you any ticket today. Tell your friend, the owner of the car, to pick you up and you're good. That's probably the moment that changed my life for completely. Because from that on, I knew that God was with me no matter where I was, and that He cared about my life in general, and He cared about my prayers, and He listened then, and that I was actually not by myself in this journey.
After this life-changing experience, Joaquim would return home to Brazil, begin his pro career, and even earn an ATP ranking in the sport. But he felt something pulling him back to the States. And that's when liberty would enter the picture.
We were looking for a top guy for the team, and Joe was looking for a new home. Turned out to be a good fit. He was attracted to liberty for the Christian mission.
Coming to Liberty was not only a choice that I was taking, but it was something for good plans of God for my life.
Now at Liberty, Joaquim continues to grow in the game, but his primary purpose is to follow God's calling on his life, no matter what that may be.
My life depends completely on His grace, and without Him, I'm nothing. I love to go back and play professional tennis, but if that's according with God's will in my life, that will happen. If that's not according with God's will, that will not happen, and I'm okay with that. I'm totally surrender and changed from God. How I am here today is just by God's grace, 100% sure, and from who He turned me to be. And He started working me, as in Philippians says. I believe that this whole roller coaster has to be God's work through my life, to be used by Him and to have a better purpose and put me where I am today.